So a lot of people ask me about the difference between active modulation therapy and diamond active massage. So I want to start today with just having you imagine that a client's on your therapy table, their eyes are closed, lotion's already on their forearm, and you say one word. You're going to say corkscrew. And they're going to know what that means. Palm up, palm down, no hesitation. They are able to do the movement. We call that one of the simple six. And as you're asking them to move, you're working into the tissue on their arm. So they know exactly what the corkscrew is because you've taught them. And believe it or not, what's really crazy is in Diamond Active Massage, the client actually has to pass a test. And it's a simple six test because we want them to know what the movement patterns are while they're doing the session. And whether you're the first person that they come to see for a diamond active massage, or if they saw somebody else in another practice, they will have passed the test. Once they understand what the simple six movements are, it's super fun because then again, you're speaking the same language. And if you are their very first diamond active massage experience, then the first session, you're going to take a few minutes to just share with them what the simple six are. So, one of the biggest differentiations between us and passively received therapy is that the client is active. So, they're active, not passive. Now, in traditional massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, um, even some physical therapy, the client patient lies on the table and the therapist does things to the client's body. Well, in DAM and active modulation therapy, the Diamond method, we work with the client. And not only are we working with their body, but we're working with their brains because it's their brain that ultimately controls everything. So maybe if you're a practitioner, you're like me when I went to school 40 years ago, we were taught it was all mechanical. We were making literally taking knots, right? Areas of the tissue that are maybe adhesed together or tender, sensitive to the client. And we were taught we were literally moving the tissue and stretching and all that. Well, now we know, of course, the understanding of what we're doing is not that, that it's the person's brain interpreting our sensation. So what's really powerful is when we are working with the client and working with what they're experiencing, the changes are faster. We call it the four E's: effective, efficient, uh, extraordinary experience. The four E's, and that's what we deliver, what we support our clients to experience. So we're not working on them. They're not waiting and sitting and laying there hoping we're going to fix them. It's a completely different experience for them and for us as a practitioner. We co-create the results. We work together for them to have very powerful changes even within the very first session. So the simple six are the directives that we give the client during the session. And we use lotion. It's like a typical massage where they're on the table, they're possibly undressed, they're covered and that kind of thing. And as you go through the movement, though, they're doing the work because they're doing the movement. So instead of us doing that movement, making the activity happen, we're guiding them. We're, of course, using our hands, elbows, whatever we're using, but the client is literally doing the bulk of the effort. So for us as practitioners, that makes it super easy, a lot less effort, and it's a completely different experience. So from a marketing angle, you as a Diamond Active Massage practitioner have something that's unique. You have something that not everybody is offering. So when they're doing the movement, it changes the way they may be apprehensive or they may be guarding or protecting themselves. But when they're doing the movement, they're in control. So they can determine how fast, how big, and this that dramatically reduces the sensitivity that they're experiencing because they're not passively waiting and wondering, uh-oh, is it going to hurt? And so their experience is so much more profound. And you get to, again, you get to play. You are helping them reduce their symptoms and improve their joint mobility and that kind of thing. So what this means for you in your practice is that when you have Diamond Active Massage as one of the either the standalone in your practice as the approach you use, or you can combine it with what you're already doing. And it allows you to work with a different type of clientele. So the clients who love this are the ones who take their health into their hands. They want to be proactive. They're the ones that are, Googling and doing the research and want to biohack their bodies and all of that. Oftentimes, people come for a massage for pampering. And if you've read my book, I'm looking around, where's my book? If you've read my book, there's a continuum in here of care, from pampering to problem solving. Pampering is fabulous. There's always going to be a place for people to get a massage to relax, de-stress, celebrate their birthday, something like that. That's pampering. That's fabulous. And then we have problem solving. And so Diamond Active Massage tends to be on the other end, closer to problem solving. Because again, the goal is stress and tension relief, improved joint mobility, less guarding, less hesitation, more awareness of where their holding patterns might be. So we are a facilitator, we are a guide. We're working together. I want you to think about how you could either seamlessly integrate Diamond Active Massage in your current practice or recreate your current practice and be known just as one of the specialists, one of the few specialists who are offering Diamond Active Massage in your city. Many Diamond Active Massage therapists, they are able to raise their rates. They command a higher fee when they're providing Diamond Active Massage because it requires a whole different skill set. It requires a whole lot more interaction between you and the client. Not every practitioner wants to do that. Some practitioners like to literally listen to their audiobooks while they're doing the mechanical massage, but the practitioners that enjoy offering Diamond Active Massage are practitioners who really want to co-create, who really want to work together with their clients to see the massive improvements. So you can raise your rates, you can work less hard, it prolongs your career, it sets you apart from a marketing advantage, and it's a whole lot more fun. um, I like to say Diamond Active Massage, we use that as an acronym, right? DAM, DAM, for the best damn stress and tension relief on the planet. So I'd love to invite you to learn more about it.